Hey crafty cuties, I'm excited to do a Christmas project with you today. I am going to be making these wreaths with you. These will be fun to just put on a journal page. We can put them on a card. We can put them on top of like a bag or something like that. I'm making these for my Patreon members, and I do have to give a shout out. I've mentioned it in a couple of videos already, but I got the complete idea from Diane, and I saw her post in a Tim Holtz Facebook group. I'm gonna link her Instagram down below. She said she doesn't post on there a lot, but I still want to give her credit. And I am going to mostly be using these dies right here. I can link these down below. So we have a wreath die, this one, we have the greenery here, and I'm using the big wreath from this older set that I have. If I can find this, I'll post it too. And I already have some things pre-cut, but we're gonna cut some together too because I got my new die cutting machine, and I just thought it would be fun to do the whole process with you guys. Yeah, I have inks and things like that, and we're just gonna get started by cutting out the wreaths. We'll start by doing these two, and then I think I'll do the bigger one so we can make a few together. So I'm gonna prep this and get this started. Okay, so like I said, we'll cut a few out on camera, and then I'll probably resort to using the ones that I have over here. I'm taking a dryer sheet and rubbing it over the dies that I'm cutting. I definitely find that it helps release the paper a little bit easier. Now I have some other tools that I also purchased that can also help with that, but I kind of found this dryer sheet trick to be very easy. I'm telling you, my dog will be quiet, like sleeping and everything, and then as soon as I start filming, he starts to need something. So anyways, you probably have that happen if you have animals too. I'm gonna take a little washi tape just to hold this in place, and then I'm gonna set up the rest of the dies I'm cutting out, and then we can go ahead. I kind of like to cut around the paper, probably not necessary, but just to take up less room than what I need. Now, because I've had such trouble with die cutting, I want to go ahead and show you the exact sandwich I'm using with these Thinlits dies. And so I have the very bottom plate. This is, I guess, the base plate. I have that down, label side up. Then I have this thin die adapter. I don't know if it's necessary. You could probably use something different. You could probably use cardboard or something like that. Then I have my chrome precision plate next, and I know there's going to be a glare from that. Then I put my die on top. Now this is going to be cut side down, so we'll do paper and then the die, and then I have the top cutting plate, not cutting plate, the top clear plate basically. That's what I have been using. That's the sandwich system that I've been using, and finding it to work really well. So then I just put it through. You can probably use, like I said, like chipboard, or I've heard of people using like cutting mats that you get from the Dollar Tree in like for produce. So you could definitely try different things. I just need it to be simple. I put it through about 3 times just for good measure. And then everything should pop out relatively easy. I do have the washi tape that's holding that down, so let's see here. I'm gonna move everything to the side. So I'm gonna finish cutting up the greenery real quick, and then we'll pull these all out together. Okay, now I really like to try and not use too many tools when I can, but I will say, I'll show you what I like the best. I do like this little foam pad. This is a whole set here basically. It's accessory kit. So I will say I think you can get away with not using it, but at the same time I do like how easy it makes getting like a lot of these little pieces out like pretty quick, I would say. So this is what I do kind of, and I don't like to spend a whole lot of time trying to get every last little piece, but you'll see that most of them come out. And I also think that because I used the dryer sheet, that helps. And then I like to use these tweezers. They're like the opposite. I don't know what you call these, like backwards tweezers or something. Anyways, and then I'll try to push just a few little spots out, and then I try to see, you know, when I can pull it out. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. Just trying to get these all out because there are small little delicate pieces on these dies, so you do want to make sure to take your time. There we go. So I think most of the pieces are out. There's a few smaller pieces left, like right here, but those usually, they're cut. They just need to be pushed through. So I'm just going to continue doing that with all of these. And then we can start assembling our cute little wreaths, and we can color them. And obviously you can cut these on colored paper, whatever color, or like glitter paper, whatever you want. I just like the process of using the dyes and spray dyes and getting like a specific color. I just think it's fun, so I will just work on grabbing all of these out here and trying not to rip anything. Yeah, this definitely released much better using the dryer sheet, and that's such a quick and easy little extra thing to do. I like this bigger size just for something different. And see, sometimes, yeah, sometimes I won't even reach for this little roller thing, and I'll just start kind of pushing all of those extra little pieces out. And then, not to mention, oh, see, it's gonna just fall out. And then a lot of times, like on these bigger ones, I could just kind of go around and just kind of push them out, or use this piece right here. They come out pretty easy. And then we have all of the greenery that I already cut. And these can be a little tricky, some of them, because they are really small and detailed, but I just follow the same process with these as well. And I did some snowflakes as well. You'll see how we can use those to embellish. Whoops, I think I almost ripped a little piece here. Okay, so I organized mine, and if you're making a bunch of these, I highly recommend it. It's gonna make the whole process much quicker and just easier. So I obviously I cut all of mine on white because I want to dye them. So that's what we're gonna do next. And I have some printer paper here just because I don't want to get ink everywhere, so I'm just going to kind of line this, and I'll show you what inks I'm using. I'm so sad I can't find my pistachio distress oxide ink. So anyways, I have some other greens that we're going to work with, and so I want to start by doing some of the wreaths. So I'm just going to grab one of each, so again we can do a few together. Now for a few minutes everything's going to look white and kind of blend in, but you'll have a better view once everything is dyed. So I could go a few ways. I could do these brown, or we could stick to like all green. Maybe I'm going to try one brown. Yeah, let's do this one that looks kind of more branchy. I'm going to do this one all brown and see how I like the end result. I think I'll do the others a green. And I'm hoping that this ink isn't too old and like diluted. It might be, but we can use. Okay, are you getting camera shy? Well, the other thing we can do is use our ink pads. So there's several ways that we can get color on these. So if you don't have the same inks I do, just use what you got. Funny enough, now I can't find my ink dauber. So what we're gonna do is just take it and spread over. Oh my gosh, now it's like it's getting all over the paper, but not really on the wreath itself, so that's fine. You can do both sides depending on what you're using it for. So I'm just kind of pressing because that's what I'm working with right now. This is why I kind of like the spray inks for this, because it's just a lot of really small, delicate areas. Okay, since that's not on there very cohesive, I added water to this ink spray, this old one, and I think I'll be able to get it to work now. And then we'll have a few different colors of the brown. Okay, so we're gonna set that to the side and let it dry. And we are getting messy, okay? Okay, like I said, we'll go ahead and do these ones kind of a green color. Let's see. I'm thinking I'll use this peeled paint Distress Oxide. It's kind of a fun color. I'll do that for this. Maybe, let's see what else. I think I have another green. So this is called Iced Spruce, and it's kind of like a blue-green. Let's just kind of mix a couple colors there. And then for this one, and actually now that I have all this excess ink, I can also use that up by going like that. And if I, you know what, instead of doing this over paper, I should do it over like silicone or plastic or something like that, because then it's not gonna like just get soaked up into the paper. I would actually be able to kind of soak it up, but that's okay. Okay. And then this last one, let's see, do I have? Oh yeah, I do have this ink too, and this is called Pine Needles. And I do have an ink dauber with greens on it, so I'm just gonna kind of go over it like that. Ooh, that's a really pretty color. But I definitely want there to be lots of different greenery colors. So I will just finish this one. This is gonna be a big project, making so many of these for my Patreon members, but it's gonna be fun, and I'm starting early enough that I have plenty of time to do it. Okay, so we're gonna set those to the side. Now we're gonna need to choose some greenery. So I think I'm just gonna go through and actually just spray a handful of the greenery pieces so that I have plenty for the wreaths that I've chosen here. And when I'm doing this as more of an assembly line project for the Patreon members, I am probably just gonna put a ton down and just spray a bunch at once. And I'll do like different colors and everything, but yeah, that's probably what I will end up doing. So I'm gonna do kind of the same, but obviously I'm not using nearly as many as I will for that project. Okay, I think I'll just start here. And again, I think I'm just gonna kind of do a select few colors like that. And I also want to include this Pine Needles color, so I'll do around with that color too. Okay, so I'm gonna leave these as is. Set those to the side. And then I kind of want to grab a few more, and I really like the pine needle color, so some of these are so delicate that I gotta be really careful. And these won't take too long to dry either. I find that even the spray inks definitely don't take too long to dry, but I would make sure, if you're doing something similar, definitely make sure that they are dry before you start assembling, because these delicate little pieces tend to break easily when they're a bit wet. I don't know that from experience or anything. Okay, kind of like how some of them have several green colors. Okay, that's good. And I also kind of like how some of them are like a speckled green. Okay, I have grit paste also, which I think I'll end up using. I'll show you how we'll put those together. Okay, maybe just one more. And then I have these little ones with berries. Now, if I wanted to take a long time, I could go through and actually like color by hand all of the berries red. I tried doing that with one of them and it took a long time, so I probably won't be exactly doing that, but okay. I really just want to make sure there's not too much white showing. Now again, I was thinking of doing the back sides of these, but that is going to take a long time, so I think for now I'll just stick to the fronts. So with the greenery, I also have a few things to really embellish and decorate, and some of these dies, I'm going to just go ahead and leave the snowflakes white, I think, and since I already have these two finished, I'll probably use those. I'm not going to color new ones right now, but I think I also want to use some like pre-cut die cuts to finish them off. So for these snowflakes, I'm going to kind of bring over some new white paper to try to keep them as white as possible. I am going to use this grit paste, and I know again you can't really see these too well because they're white and they're blending in, but I'm going to take like a little palette knife, I think will be the best way to do it, and I'm going to rinse this off because it's purple. So apparently you can't get the purple off, so you know what, if it mixes in somehow then we'll just go with it. Okay. So I'm just going to take some on like the back of the palette knife here, and again, these are pretty delicate shapes, so I'm going to try to do this carefully. I don't care about getting an even layer because I do want this to kind of look like snowy. And so I'm just going to kind of go over it like that. And then I'll just use this to pick up a little corner and take it off before it dries down onto the paper. So I doubt you're going to be able to see much of the texture, but it just gives it a very gritty, like snow-like texture, and so I'm going to put that over there. And it doesn't take too much. You could do a thicker layer or whatever you would like. You could color the grit paste as well, so it might look really cool to do kind of a light blue. In fact, maybe we'll do that together right here. So I'm going to try to use up, and again, I should have actually maybe did this on something that was like silicone or like a cutting mat so that I didn't waste so much onto the paper, but I'm going to close this up right away. And I think I will grab, actually, I'm going to try to get like one dot of this Mermaid Lagoon because it's a little darker than what I really want the color to be. Let's see if I can mix that together, and it might still be darker than what I wanted. And there's so many. Okay, this is all right. Not too bad. Okay, all right, cool. Okay, so I'm just doing the same thing. Not, whoops. And let's hope I don't break it on the first one that I do the colored. Okay, and so I'm gonna let all of these things dry for about 10 minutes off camera, of course, and so I'll come back and then we can start assembling our fun little wreaths. Okay, and that turned out, I'm hoping you can see the texture a bit better now that there's some color involved. Okay, I'll be back after everything dries. I'm taking some of the leftover grit paste here and actually just putting it on one of the wreaths here. This is the one that's like dyed blue, so I think a white grit paste would also look really cool on some of them, but I'm just going to use that up and set that down. So everything's pretty dry now, so we'll just start with one here and we'll just start gluing down. And you're in just a bit here. Okay, so I have everything up here, and really I just kind of want to start placing things where I think they might look good. We can always cut, for the smaller wreath I sometimes will cut like a piece off because I don't always need like a full piece here, so that's gonna be fine too. I really like these small scissors for making small cuts like that. And I really like to do kind of a variety of greenery on these. And let's see, you could always do like that look where you do half of a wreath kind of decorated, if you know what I mean. Or we could do the whole thing. I sort of like both looks and I can't decide which I like better. But I think what I'll do is just start, okay, kind of like that. I'm going to start just gluing down, and it seems like I could bring you in even closer because these are really tiny pieces, so I hope that works. Yeah, I don't like to take too long of just setting them down. I sort of like to just get to it and glue things down. You probably know that if you have been following me for any amount of time. So I'm going to start with these two pieces kind of mirroring each other. And then I'm just gonna, whoopsies. This does get a bit messy because, again, these are really, you know, delicate pieces, and for me, I just like to put a bunch of glue on and go. I don't exactly like to be so precise with my gluing. So that's definitely gonna hold me up a bit here. Like that. And don't forget, I'm gonna be adding some other little decoration pieces as well. But I definitely like all of the different colors in here. I think it makes them look kind of more realistic, I guess. Loving these pine needles. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot I have these extra little pine pieces too. I didn't color any of these, but that would be good for like little filler parts. Okay, so let's see how we like that and figure out what I would like to add to this one. My little work area is going to get real messy here. Okay, so I'm really dying to use this bird. Oh, that is so pretty. Okay, that's actually a good size too. Maybe I could do one of the blue. Is this going to be too many colors? No, I think that actually looks kind of good. Okay, yeah. So I'm just going to try to add glue where this one needs to go. Definitely like this up on the side here, and then this beauty will just sit right there. Oops, you can see the orange because I dyed the piece behind this orange, if you can see that. Anyways, and so it obviously went through, but that's fine because I will I'm not sure how I'm going to use these final pieces, to be quite honest. I will try to show some final project ideas once I'm done. Oh, I forgot. I kind of want to incorporate this gold thread, so I'm actually going to kind of wind some between, I think we'll do 2 fingers here. And then just kind of slide it off my fingers. It's a bit stuck, but that's okay. So I kind of like to wind it up the best I can to the size I want. And I'm actually going to try to pull this up because it's still drying. And I sort of want to place this behind the snowflake. Definitely want to try to get that glued down some because I don't want this falling out or coming unraveled. So I'm just gonna work with that for a minute and then just press down. Okay, things are kind of falling off here, so it's hard to show, but I'm also gonna take my stapler because I really don't want this string falling all over the place, and I'm just gonna give it a staple. It's not gonna show because then we're gonna place the snowflake right back over like that. Now this one has so many bigger pieces that right now it's a bit like wobbly, I guess you could say, but like I said, I will probably be doing something where maybe I put it on envelopes like this or a card base, so hopefully you can get a better idea of what it's going to look like. So there's that one. We could do the next one a bit different or more simple, so let's go ahead and take this piece right here, and I'm just going to do the same thing. I think for this one I am going to see what it will look like if I just do half of it. Again, I'm going to try to kind of mix up the greens. And even when you're using the greenery pieces that are like all one green, I feel like, I don't know if on camera, but in real life, they still stand out, like all of the different pieces, and it looks pretty cool. Definitely going to be still getting messy because these distress oxides come off when the wet glue touches it, but it's alright. Okay, I think I kind of just want one more small piece, maybe right here, so I'm going to just tear that. Ooh, and little bows would be also pretty. Okay, so we'll keep that like so. So I made like a little bow out of this white and gold thread. Thinking that might look really cute up there. But let's take a look at some of the die cuts that I have here. There's also some greenery pieces in here, which might be fun. I think the little banners look really cute also, kind of going across like that. We could make this the bottom, we could make this the side. It's kind of like a hard decision, a lot of these. Dear Santa, that's cute. Little hearts would be cute. I'm looking for like just the right piece. Oh my gosh, this is cute. This is a tiny little like squirrel. Yes, okay, I think I like that. I'm gonna put this little guy right here. And I guess I decided against the bow. However, I think, well, that does look cute too. It is going to make it a bit more dimensional, and I am personally going to be sending these through the mail, so I think I'll hold off on that for this one. Okay. Also very cute. Okay, let's do one more here. Maybe we should do one of the big ones, actually. Here, we'll take this. Since we've done smaller ones, let's do one of the bigger ones. See how much greenery this takes. Okay, so for this one, I'm just going to actually glue right on the wreath area. And I haven't decided if I want to do like the whole thing, because I actually really like how the wreaths look. The part that's already like the actual wreath, they're already pretty, so you could do all kinds of things. Like, you don't even have to add the greenery really, but it does give it a bit of a more realistic look using it. Okay, maybe I'll just do the top half here again. For some reason I just really like that look. Yeah, we'll do that, and then maybe we'll add, I've been kind of wanting to use this little mountain here. This might look cute down here. So again, I'm making such a mess here. I'm just gluing right on like the actual wreath itself. Maybe some right here. Okay, go like that. And then for this one, we could also do maybe, nope, don't like that so much. Maybe a snowflake over on this side. I do like how this one's simple, but I can't decide what else to add. I realized I didn't really love the mountain on this big one for some reason, so I'm actually gonna just take this snowflake, we'll put it right here. Maybe we'll just leave this one because I cannot decide how to decorate the bigger ones really, but I definitely think I prefer the smaller size, but here's this one. Still cute. I just think that this size is going to be a little easier to work with doing projects and things. So we'll just decorate one more here. I'll just keep these pieces whole because they're actually just seeming to fit just perfect here. So pretty. I am loving all of the different colors mixed in. Yeah, maybe we'll do it this way. And then I think I'm just gonna have to stop here and continue making some of these off camera, and then I think I'm gonna have to do like a part 2 where I show you how I will incorporate them into a project because I just don't know yet. Okay, this one is really very gluey. So I think maybe I could use the mountain on this one. Yep, I think I like it better. I like this size, I think. Go like that. Yes, I definitely like the size. And there's this one. So that was fun. I'm really excited to continue making these, and I'll just have to do a part 2 and show you how I end up using these. I do like them on their own, but I definitely think I'll want to maybe put them on something, and I just don't know what yet. So let me know if you have ideas down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.